Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Recorded.
Oh.
It starts getting recorded right now. Now they can hear people. Hello, people.
Hello and welcome to Relay.
So, Jake, I feel like that has to be. Wait,
That was extremely loud.
Yeah?
was it really loud? It wasn't loud on mine.
Yes. Whoa, my God.
Don't do that, Jake.
Oh, listen. Everything's fine.
We are listening. That's what broke our ears.
I feel like that needs to be the opening to a song.
Sure.
Do that, Jake.
Hello, welcome to Relay. This is my song. And then the song starts. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Oh, dear.
Listen, voice mod compresses everything, so just smushes it all together.
So,
listen.
today's Tuesday. This
Today's
is the day
Tuesday.
when we do our unnamed game show.
Yep, we do the unnamed game shows. Video games that are not Star Citizen.
Still bringing it up
Not,
this week.
not.
Consistent with
Not.
your complaint.
Table
not.
of Horrors, get your
We
funny
must talk
clocks out of here.
We must talk about other video games
It's
that
true.
are also good. Maybe also could be better. Who knows? Sometimes they are.
It's
Yes.
true. But before that, there's something that I was going to do and then I forgot to do, and
forgot
now
to
I'm
do it.
doing it.
What's that? Oh, there's a sheep. Oh, where's the sheep going?
With the moose, of course.
But it's moose on loose with cat on hat with duck on boat. What are you adding to? Oh, we've transcended the the overlay
Just a sec.
Oh, boy.
It's taking me a
And
second
goat?
to do this while live.
with a coat.
It's a goat with a coat.
And a goat with a coat.
Oh, goat with a coat.
That makes me happy, David.
Hey, I'm glad.
How very nice.
It's a moose on the loose with a cat on the hat and a duck on a boat and a goat with a coat. I wonder what's going to be next week.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see how many images I can fit into this.
For those listening to the audio, this must be extremely confusing for you. I'm not going to explain it.
Good.
I'm not gonna explain
Nope.
it.
Nope.
Good.
We'll just let her ride. Just
Welcome
let
to
her
the
ride.
show, where we talk about games that are not Star Citizen, including things that we play, things on the news, things for free, things we yell about in a good way, only good way. And yeah, but first of all, our first segment, the pre-segment, is
What you drinking?
I'm drinking a vodka tonic. Is
Strong?
Cranberry lime tonic.
Is it strong?
It is moderately strong.
Okay. Eric?
Tito's vodka, local to Austin,
So-
Texas.
Today I have a
Oh,
Shed People Skills.
Nice.
people
That was fun.
skills.
This
That's a
is
great name for a beer.
It is a great name for a beer, and the reason they named it that is this is a very easy drinking, very nice cream ale, and I love
Oh,
it.
nice. I don't see many cream ales
like-
anymore.
Oh, they're everywhere down here, dude.
Yeah?
This
Beautiful.
farm country. We got cows everywhere.
Uh,
People like milk. People like creamy textures.
in case you couldn't tell from the name, the title of today's show, I'm having a PBR because it's all I got left right now. I got to do another beer order.
Oh, listen, PBR is the best cheap beer
It is.
that exists. Hands down.
Yep.
It's the best one.
of the cheap beers, it's not weak. It's not doesn't have that like little bit of rancid in the back of your throat when you finish drinking it. That like
Bud Light rancid flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like you both knew exactly which beer to bring up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the
It's the
beer,
worst
taste,
beer.
or that's the Bud.
No.
taste.
Actually, the worst beer is Keystone Light. Have you ever had Keystone Light?
No, thankfully.
Oh.
Do you guys get blue down there?
Yeah.
Or is blue's
pretty bad.
Blue's pretty bad.
Um.
All right.
But yeah, that's what we're drinking.
That's what we're drinking.
Now on to segment 2, also known as segmentin 1.
What you playing?
What you playing?
See, it might be confusing if segment 2 was called segment 1, but it's called segmentin 1.
Segmentin 1.
So it makes total sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, good. I
Uh,
need to play that.
it is on Game Pass. As my continuing adventure of games I meant to play but never did. Train continues.
That is the Game Pass journey.
Yeah.
The things I
It's
always
great.
meant to play.
It's great. Ori and the Blind Forest is a Metroidvania. If you didn't know what that game is 100% a Metroidvania. It's also a Dark Souls game
All right.
because it has bonfires, but you make, so that's the cool thing about it is you make bonfires.
Okay.
You can use one of your like ability charges to make a save point anywhere,
Ooh, that's cool.
as long as there's no enemies around.
Damn it.
But yeah,
I mean, you can't generate a save point in the middle of a boss fight.
no.
That's
you can
unfortunate.
generate one immediately before a boss fight.
0 on 10 refund.
Yeah. It's very hard. Come to find out. It's very satisfying though. It's got really tight controls, and all of your attacks are really chunky. So okay. My go-to example of chunky combat is Wind Waker.
All right.
So when you hit something in Wind Waker, you notice how like a frame drops every time you smack something in Wind Waker, and it does that little like musical cue. There's no musical cues, but it feels like that. And so it's very, very good. I can tell that this is the first game this team made. It has the slightest amount of roughness around the edges, but man, this game is absolutely beautiful. The music is just like goosebump inducing, and yeah, I highly recommend it. I think it clocks at about 8 or 9 hours, so it's not super long. So I'm probably about a third of the way done with it. Yeah, highly recommend Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm gonna go immediately into Ori and Will of the Wisps once I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm probably
Which
gonna do
I
that.
hear is
Me
even
too.
better. Like the level design, like took a huge ramp up. So I love Ori and Will of the Wisps because it has a really cool story behind it. Like a really cool game dev story behind it. So you remember the project AM2R?
No.
No.
So AM2R stands for Another Metroid 2 Remake.
Oh yeah.
And this guy basically made it a better in every way Metroid 2 remake. And he got a cease and desist from Nintendo, and he's like, well, I guess I'm done. And then Moon Studios sent him an email and said, hey, here's some things we want you to do. If you do it, you have a job.
Yep.
And now he's like one of the lead level designers on Ori. Well, he was. He's in the credits, and the game was made. So, so yeah, and like everybody when they reviewed it, were like, we can feel it. Like we can feel like the level design being like a huge step above what it was.
That's really
before.
cool.
And yeah, I mean, Ori's a Metroid game, so
Yeah.
it like obviously they're going to hire a guy who was able to rebuild Metroid 2 from scratch. So that's really cool. I always thought that was a really cool story about game dev and how mods should be celebrated and not shut down.
Friggin'
Nintendo.
Battlefield 2 Desert Combat? Was it Desert Combat?
I don't know.
There was a really famous,
Battlefield.
or no, sorry, not 2, but 1942. There was a huge mod that remade Battlefield 2 into like
1942. Yeah.
remade 1942 into one of the like Afghanistan war or something, one of the desert wars. I don't know. There's so many of them at this point. But they basically hired the whole dev team to work on the next Battlefields because they had made such a
It was
fantastic
42, and it was so good.
Yeah.
42.
Yeah.
Make another one. Make a sci-fi Battlefield game, please. Please.
All right, Eric, what you playing?
Oh wait, I'm not done. I got one more.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes,
I'm playing Apex.
Cool.
Like
New
a
season?
lot. I'm back in. I'm
He's
playing
back.
it. I'm back. I have found my new weapon combination, which is the R301 and the P2020 with a hammer point modification to it, which means
my.
it does double damage to flesh. So
Ooh.
my R301 is a normal, like basically an M4 is what that gun is. Cracks their shields. So if I don't kill them with the R301, which sometimes you do, but if you don't, odds are you have done at least 100 damage to them after you use your whole clip. So instead of reloading, which takes a long time, you swap to your pistol, click them 3 times, and they're dead.
Cool.
And it is just beautiful.
Nice.
New season comes out next week, and it is adding a new hero, champion, legend. Her name is Rampart. She is Indian. And of course, being an Indian woman, of course they got the voice actor for Symmetra to to come over to Apex and voice her. Her name is Rampart. She's got a big gun, and I don't know what it does, and I'm excited to find out.
She does
They
have a
put
big
out-
gun.
They put out 2 animated trailers for season 6, and it looks really good. They also announced that the Volt SMG from Titanfall is coming to Apex. It is an energy SMG.
Wow.
And it's the only SMG in Titanfall that was meant to be used at medium range. So I'm very, very excited for that. Also, there's not that many energy weapons in the game right now. Actually, yeah, in fact, there's only 2 of them that aren't legendary weapons that drop from the care package. So having a 3rd is nice. So yeah, play Apex Legends. It is a wonderful video game, and if you really don't like Origin for whatever reason, you don't have to wait very long. It's coming to Steam, and I can't wait.
EA Access, which is cool.
Yes. I can't wait. I am just absolutely excited for the day
For all the
when
new blood?
all the Steam people come online, and it's just going to be a bloodbath, dude.
Just a
I'm
bloodbath.
So
I'll be there for that.
excited.
Eric, what you playing?
I am playing. So I played a little bit of Horizon this week, but I actually spent about 10 to 12 hours this week playing Star Citizen.
Get out.
No. Get out. No, Jake. For those who are curious who haven't played it in a while, it's all right. It well, it's one of those things. It would play perfectly if the servers would cooperate. It actually plays really well when you're in a good server, but the servers are having frequent problems. But yeah, I had
that's the
a
case with,
good time.
most games right now.
I had a good time. Yeah. Fall Guys.
Apex has some Apex doesn't like running in the middle of the day sometimes. So
Ooh, nice. But that's about it for me. I continue my quest with Horizon on into Infinity. I'm not sure when that game's gonna end.
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to hit the huge story moment. That's
Who's gonna hit it first, me or Eric?
Me,
Good-
I'm almost there.
Yeah, he's
You're
almost
like
there.
you're like 40 hours away, David.
Oh, it's so good. This game has one of the most like complete
Jake.
stories I've ever played in a game.
Go away.
It's
What?
It's David's
I didn't
turn.
say
Go.
anything.
Go do something.
I wanna
Talking
talk-
about Eric's game he's playing.
I want to talk about it
Go, David. Horizon.
because I started playing Horizon
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
PC.
on PC. First, the PC port needs some love.
Yep.
Yeah. It's better than some. It's a mediocre port. It's not a bad port. It's a mediocre port.
It seems like they included a
runs.
lot of options that they needed to, but I don't think they have it optimized well enough yet. And
No.
I'm pretty sure they can get there, but it's
No,
going to need
it's
some
almost
patches.
there. It's almost there.
I'm running at around 40 FPS.
You have an
Solid.
old card though.
I've got a 1070, so I've got an old card.
Yeah.
40 FPS. It still looks great. And I will say it doesn't go much lower than 40. Like it's a solid 40. So I'm not
Yeah.
getting dips, which is nice, but
Yeah, it depends on the area I'm in. I have a 1080 Ti as well as an absolute monster of a processor, but my 1080 Ti is absolutely my bottleneck right now. The isn't yeah.
There's a time that GPU
That
being a
is a
bottleneck was
crazy
just
statement.
ridiculous.
Back in the day. Well, so here's the thing: is that a 1080? I'm playing at 1440.
Okay.
So
same.
So 1080, like if I drop this to 1080, it would crush this game, like absolutely crush it. And I've tried it, and it does. I get 100 plus FPS consistently once I drop it to 1080. Yeah, for some reason, like well, here's the thing too: is that the 1080 Ti was marketed as the 1440p card. It wasn't,
Yeah.
like,
The
not at
20.
all.
Well, the 2080s
no, I'm getting-
were marketed as 4K, and they're also not.
Yeah, they're the 1440p cards. That's what
Yeah.
they are. But I'm getting about 50 to 70 FPS depending on the area.
That's not
So
bad.
it was pretty good.
I'm also getting a lot
I turned
of
off volumetric
crashes.
clouds. I turned off volumetric clouds because that'll just chew through your GPU like nothing. I turned off. I turned down the reflections.
Yeah, I did too.
So the shapes are still there, but it's not 1-to-1, and that's fine. And I turned down ambient occlusion a little bit.
I turned down a bunch of things to get it to run at solid 40, but it's like it shouldn't be running that low at the settings
No.
that I've got, and it shouldn't crash as much. I've played about 12 to 15 hours, and I've had probably 30 crashes.
I have
3
the
or 30?
highest.
30.
Holy shit.
It's
I have the highest of hopes for Horizon Forbidden West on PC because, one, Horizon Zero Dawn was made at a time when they weren't even really thinking about it for PC.
Mm-hmm.
However, Death Stranding was.
yeah.
Death
Yeah, that
Stranding
was
was
a mess.
built knowing they were going to make a PC port after a very short period of exclusivity. In fact,
So
it
I
was
want to
probably about-
clarify
like
the
8
30.
months.
I want to clarify the 30 crashes because I have had around 30 crashes in it so far, but probably around 10 of them happened in a really early cutscene. That there was just one point in the cutscene that would crash almost all the time, and I couldn't get through the cutscene to save. And I tried it. I think I tried 7 times, and finally on like the last try I was gonna do, I got through and was able to save on the other side of the cutscene. But lots of my crashes were right at the beginning. Now I'm having like, I think I crashed once yesterday, and that was
that's not bad.
I played 2 hours, crashed at the end, was like, okay, I'm done now. But it's
I'm about 6 hours into it. I've only crashed twice.
I want to talk about the game now.
Yeah.
Because the PC port of it's bad, but the game itself is really damn good.
Mwah.
It's got
Beautiful game.
It's got some UI problems. In my opinion, I find the weapon selection on PC is not great.
It's a radial menu.
It's a radial menu.
If you're not used to radial menus, it will be a bad time.
Especially on PC, yeah.
I don't like a radial menu on PC. I get it, but the game itself is great. It's a lot of fun. It's sort of the Assassin's Creed formula of giant open world, go explore, collect things, build things, but it's done
so
really
much
well.
better.
And Aloy is really cool, and hunting robot dinosaurs is awesome.
The lore is really good. The story, like all the side quests, have really good story to them. There's tons of dialogue choices. There's all sorts of environmental storytelling, literally everywhere.
Oh yeah, all over the place. Yeah.
I wouldn't
Vantage
say it's
points are my favorite.
I wouldn't say it's better played on a gamepad than keyboard and mouse. I'm finding keyboard and mouse is really essential.
I
I
actually
really
think-
enjoyed it too.
I think keyboard and mouse would be great. There are times when I'm playing it on PlayStation and I'm like, I should have made that shot.
Yeah.
Shiver,
I had that. My
you-
controller screwed up.
Shiver,
know?
did you play Tomb Raider on PC? And if you did, what did you use to play it with?
It's basically Tomb Raider.
did not? Okay.
It's a bow and arrow game, but like
Yeah.
one of the things is there's all these giant robot dinosaurs that come charging at you.
Massive one. Yeah.
But they've got all these parts on them, and one of the huge things about the game is picking the parts off them.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
being able
so
to do
cool.
that with a keyboard and mouse is everything, quite frankly.
Yep.
I'll let you know though, Shiver. There is a little bit of platforming in this game, but it's so just mind-numbingly easy that you don't
Yeah.
even really think about
It's almost not a platform. There's
Yeah,
no platforming elements, basically. Like it's
yeah.
Um,
you just walk, but sometimes you climb, and sometimes you jump.
but it's all like none of it has been like jump from thing to thing to thing to. It's like
No. If there is that, the game basically does it for
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
you hold forward and press space and it does it for you. There's no
Yeah.
thinking required, and
Yeah,
it's great because
It's such a great gaming experience.
Yeah.
Especially the world is absolute. We were talking about this earlier. The world is absolutely gigantic and
Yeah.
it's full to the brim with stuff
yeah.
everywhere. You're hard pressed to go more than like, I don't know, 2 minutes without running into a giant robot dinosaur.
See,
It
Shiver,
makes you
I'm
feel
with
good.
you. It really does. Like Aloy is just a god of parkour, and it makes you feel like that.
The entire
and-
game, it just makes you feel good. I haven't died yet in it. I'm playing it
Yeah,
on normal, but it's just a good experience the entire way through so far.
I died by a cheap shot from a sawtooth. He charged at me, and I dodged, and then he whipped his tail around.
Tail
and
around?
Smacked
Oh
me.
yeah, that happens.
I almost died to a
Bastard.
trio of tramplers.
Oh yeah, the tramplers,
They're
dude.
they're bad.
They will get you.
Yeah. All right. That's
Thunderjaws are
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I take them down, no problem. But then once in a while, they'll get me, and I'm like, oh,
all right,
that guy's
guys.
fast.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
For the next
For
segment.
what?
It's the next
Okay.
segment.
Yeah.
The accurately named segment 3, one game you want.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you want?
I want the pathless.
Oh yeah, that
very
was
badly.
Pathless, tell us about this.
that was PS4,
The
was it?
Pathless is
Five.
a game that was announced a little while ago, but we saw a new trailer, gameplay demo of it really, on the Sony show last week.
Okay.
It is a huge open world, and like the mechanics are very minimal. Like it's very like I don't really know how to describe it. Just look up the trailer. Basically, the big thing about it is you move like a freaking motorcycle, but you're sprinting at like 40 miles an hour through this world. And in order to run that fast, you have to shoot your bow at these tiny targets, which give you speed. And they say in the demo, it's all auto aim. They made an archery type game where aiming doesn't matter, timing does. And like it's gorgeous. It has like this very like Japanese myth type aesthetic to it. And it just looks really good. Like I'm very excited about that game. It
Wow,
does
that
hit the
looks
mark,
really
Shiver,
interesting.
Thank you.
It's a very different type of game.
Yeah, it just
I'm-
looks really cool. And I'm excited to play that one.
I've started paying a lot more attention to like sort of calmer games like that.
Yeah,
Like it's really nice sometimes to just, step away from saving the universe and just build a town or run through a forest or like I still think one of the games that touched me most a long time ago was Flower.
Great
oh,
game.
I love Flower.
Flower was
It's
just
in the Smithsonian.
yeah, and it deserved to be. And I think their follow up what was the Desert Journey, just lovely,
Yeah.
Eric.
Um.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I got one more, sir. Look at the
Oh,
document.
you got two. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, these are the highlights from that stream. So the other one is Anno Mutationum. It's got like this, like, so the character you play as is pixel art. It's got like the Octopath Traveler look to it a little bit, where it's got these crazy depth of field effects, giving you like this insane sense of scale. It's very cyberpunk future, but swords and side scrolling.
Is that
It
the one
looks
that's
cool.
that there's also a question about?
No,
That was a different one, right?
yes,
Okay.
that is Eon Must Die
Yes.
or something like that. I'm typing the name of this game in chat because it's spelled funny. There you go. That's the name of the game. Check it out. It looks cool. I'm
It
excited
does look
for
cool.
it. Yeah. I like games of this aesthetic. The last one that reminds me of this is actually Crosscode. So yeah. And y'all know me, Crosscode. Very good video game. Hey,
Oh, we know.
everybody on this call, you should play Crosscode. In fact, you have access to that game right now.
Yep, it's on Game Pass.
Yep.
It's on
Should
Game
play it.
Pass. It's a beautiful game. I love that game. I want them to make more. Give
Eric?
me more. Give me Crosscode 2.
What about you?
What about me? So I chose for this. I struggled with this a little bit. But I decided to choose Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is coming
Oh,
out
yeah.
soon. And that is another one we are all getting on
Game Pass.
The G Pass.
It comes out in exactly a week from today, and it looks awesome. And from all reports and all appearances, Microsoft really went above and beyond with this one. Basically, it's it's every airport in the entire world. It's like what 37,000 airports or something. And it looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to play it. And yeah, I will
Seems
report
like a
back.
good
And
podcast game.
Yeah.
oh, definitely. I'm gonna report back in about 2 weeks and let you
Yep.
know what I'm thinking.
I'm sure we all will.
This type of game hasn't Flight Simulator hasn't been around in a long time. And I think the thing that filled the void since the last major flight sim game was all of the truck simulator games.
Yeah.
Obviously not as complex as a flight sim. But that's cool. I remember the first time I got into PC gaming actually was my dad's friend who built custom PCs just so he could play Flight Simulator at the highest possible quality. And this was back when the last flight sim, like 2003 or something, was like hot off the shelf. And every time I saw him, like because he would try to teach me about it, and he's like, listen, and this is back in peak AMD, right? He was like, listen, all you got to remember is that AMD rules, and there is nothing else that you need, just AMD. And so every time I saw him, I'd be like, yo, AMD rules.
I have a
That's
very
how I got
very
into PC gaming.
I have a very
fun time.
specific memory of hanging out with some friends in one of my friends' basements, and I don't know what we were doing or why, but we were playing Flight Simulator, whatever one the last one was, 20X or something.
Probably Flight Simulator X.
Flight Simulator X, and one of us decided to see if we could do a barrel roll in a 747. and did, and was flying upside down for a bit, and then I don't know what happened. I think someone hit something on the keyboard, and the plane was still upside down, but just like shot 100,000 feet up, and just continued climbing and climbing and climbing and
Wow.
climbing, and just completely broke the game, and I still don't know how or why, but that's my memory of Flight
That's
Simulator.
amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just checked. So it was 14 years between Flight Simulator games. But
Sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, Flight Simulator should be good. I'm excited for that as well. I want Fall Guys.
If you still had a PlayStation, you would have Fall Guys.
Yeah, but I don't, and I also don't want to play it on PlayStation. I want to play it on the PC.
his PC.
My PC.
'Cause I have Fall Guys. I got it for free.
Excellent.
That's good.
Fall Guys is looks really good.
Yeah.
It is three things put together. Battle Royale. All right, people in the audience, that is automatically turn off for you, but here it comes. Number 2, Mario Party.
Yeah.
Number 3, MXC.
It is. It's one of those old like Japanese game shows where people are jumping over stupid shit and get hit and fall down, and
It's fantastic.
It-
It is fantastic.
there's sort of a theme going on right now of like things that we want being calm and not shooting stuff.
Dude, man, the second game I mentioned was some chopping stuff.
I know, but like there's still a bit of a theme of like let's have
Fall
something
Guys is
to,
not that. Fall Guys is chaos.
but it's like cute chaos. You're a bunch of jelly beans running around. Like
True.
Yeah. It has
It's-
some high quality cosmetic items
yes.
in it. Extremely high quality.
Also, their interaction with Cyberpunk and The Witcher was just
Yep.
oh
Fall Guys is like the game for like crossover marketing.
yes.
Like 1,000,000%. It's like
It's also
Rocket
a
League.
huge thing right now. Like
Yeah.
2 million copies sold in the first.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
super happy.
They're having
What's
They're
the concurrent
having-
on Steam right now?
They're having World of Warcraft level problems at the beginning here.
Yeah.
They're
Sewer
I don't think
problems.
they expected it to be it's a Devolver game, right? So they
Yeah.
don't think they expected it to
Yeah.
be that
It's
popular.
peaked at 124,000 concurrent players, which
Oh my
is
God.
just insane.
There's literally a
Insane.
guy. There's literally a guy at was it Mediatonic whose hair is on fire and he's buying every server he can find.
Yeah. I mean, Devolver just must be just like, huh.
Fall
So-
Guys
so
beat
this
the
is the
concurrent
one, eh?
player count. Fall Guys beat the the concurrent player count for Doom Eternal, Sea of Thieves, Resident Evil 3, and Horizon Zero Dawn combined.
Yeah. It's the thing.
Oh my, I love it.
All right. Look, we've made it to segment 2.
The fourth segment. Segment 2.
It's time for the news.
Segment 2, the fourth segment. All right. Hey, look, guys, it's news.
Yeah.
So,
First things first, Cyberpunk thing happened yesterday.
it looked
Oh.
good.
Amazing.
Oh.
I
Listen,
need
all
that
right.
game in my. I need that game in my.
My
bloodstream.
heart sank when what's her face, Holly, community manager lady, she's
Mhm.
like, "There's so many weapons. We're gonna focus this segment on just guns." I'm like, "No." Tell me about the cyberware, please. Listen, the trailer they showed, it was like all the guns, and then they're like, here's a couple swords, and then they're like, yeah, here's mantis blades, gorilla arms, what?
Gorilla arms.
And literally Iron Man missile launchers built into your flesh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, please. Give me those. Oh,
I mean, I will admit, I really liked the sound of some of those shotguns.
oh,
Just,
they're chunky boys.
just so chunk. Some of those, I
Listen.
feel like I'm going to be going tech weapons, man.
Oh,
Me too. That was
Right.
my feeling as well.
not me. Y'all are gun people. Listen, I'm playing this game as a technomancer. I'm going corpo, by the way. I'm going full Mr. Robot playthrough. Full Mr. Robot. Okay? I'm taking down the corporations from the inside. I am going to have access to military grade cyberware. I'm going to be able to hack doors and people with my mind. And I'm going to have mantis blades come out of my arms. That's all I want in life. And it's going to be great.
I'm
am
also going to
very
go
excited.
corpo, but I'm going to go the more traditional corpo route of everyone else is worthless, and I might as well just kill them.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going like full stealth, like I was never here builds.
I'm
The
doing the
Cyberpunk- It was a good stream.
I was
Oh,
doing the
fantastic.
I'm doing the Lone Wanderer build. I'm playing Nomad. And yeah.
Dolvac said
be
he wants to
fun.
play Nomad because he wants the visual effect of walking into Night City for the first time.
I mean, that's a good point.
Yep.
I'm more thinking as a corpo of like once I'm established, just heading out of Night City to just
same.
slaughter some nomads because I mean that's what you do with people
Yeah.
that have no established communities, right?
So I'm glad they reestablished the location of Night City. So in the tabletop game, it's the same. Night City is located smack in the middle on the west coast between LA and San Francisco. So San Francisco is north of Night City and LA is south of Night City. It's right there in the middle. There's a whole lot of just in real life. There's just desert there. There's nothing. So yeah, that's where the Badlands is, which it's just desert nothingness. Also, global warming's in full swing in Cyberpunk, so it's real bad out there. Yeah.
Good times.
Don't forget to wear some sunblock.
Yeah. Um,
Well, you can always just replace your skin.
It's true. So
So are they thinking like near where Santa Maria is currently?
yes.
'Kay.
Yes.
Cool.
I guess Shroud
next
is
up.
back on Twitch.
The shrouded one. I don't know much about this. What do you got, Jake? Do you know more?
All right. So here's the story about Shroud. Shroud being
this a
really
story of a
the
girl?
only Twitch. Yes. It's also this story of a man who's blue, and everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around. 'Cause
Okay.
he ain't got nobody to listen. Shroud was one of the top level streamers that moved over to Mixer when Microsoft was handing out big contracts. They paid out his contract, so he took a month off. Thank you, Lord Kelmar. I appreciate it. I can say every word to that song by heart. I can do it. And everybody gets very upset when I do it, so I'm not going to do it. So Shroud had like a $10 million contract with Microsoft. Facebook offered him double, and he refused. Like on top of the money that Microsoft was already paying him. $10 million.
Fuck Facebook.
Oh my.
He streamed on Mixer for 6 months, and it was a 3-year contract
Yep.
that he was going to get $10 million for. They paid out that contract.
$10 million for 6 months.
And then Facebook offered him $20 million to move over to Facebook Gaming, and he turned it down.
I mean,
Shroud is
Does anyone blame him?
no, not at all. Actually, Ninja also turned that money down, which is surprising for Ninja for me. But yeah,
at that point, when
Shroud-
you've just been paid out with that kind of money, you're like, fuck it.
yeah. I mean, he took a month off.
Yeah.
He just pieced for a month. Actually, more than a month.
I'd piece
Bro,
for
what
a hell of a
does
lot
that
more
ten-
than a month.
Oh, I went to spend that 10 million.
his last stream was like June 20 something. And he just now announced that he's coming back to Twitch. He's coming back to Twitch. So Shroud is a sweet boy. I love that man more than most content creators in the world. Number one reason is because he is a human aimbot. It's scary. Like, absolutely frightening how good at all FPS games he is. Number two, he uses his power for good. He'll just walk into a random streamer who has like 10 people in his stream, watch for 20 minutes, enjoy himself, drop $1,000 donation, and raid him.
That's good.
Because he's Shroud, and he can do that. His whole philosophy is whatever business decision allows him to game on the internet forever, he will do it.
Fair enough.
That's a pretty good business philosophy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
means-
he's made the philosophy that will let him game forever with $10 million.
Yes.
He never has to do
Yes.
anything else,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Absolutely. And he's gotten to the point where yeah. Shroud playing Doom is a little scary. I got really into Shroud when he started playing Apex. All right. This is
I would
only
not
gonna
want to play
mean-
that game against him.
No. I have been in a match against one of his teammates, and I didn't even see him. I didn't even know he existed, and I just instantly died. Shroud was not in that game, but one of his former teammates from Cloud9 was, and it was just gross. Shroud is better than him. So it's scary. There's a clip, and this is only going to mean something to people who've played Apex, where he killed an entire team with a hemlock within 2 seconds.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It was about 12 bullets. Didn't miss one.
Holy crap!
It was just utterly disgusting.
You'd have to
And-
have a deeply intimate feeling for the recoil of that gun to do
Mhm.
that.
um,
Holy crap!
And so the best part is when he did it, he just like let go of the mouse. He's like, that was insane. My favorite, if you watch any Shroud content, just go. There's like a 15-minute video on his YouTube. It's like top moments where Shroud surprised himself, and it's it's very good. And my favorite is Shroud is not Canadian, but he's a little bit Canadian because every time he just goes like, he's like, I am a god. Sorry, sorry.
That's hilarious.
And
Unnaturally good.
I'm just happy that Shroud's back, and
Mhm.
he's one of my favorite content creators. There's no garbage, there's no character, there's no scandals or with Shroud. He's just a dude who lives in California with his girlfriend and plays Valorant, and it's
Yeah.
just like
What do you think?
I love him.
What are we thinking the value is on this new exclusive contract with Twitch?
I don't know.
If you have a feeling, do you think it'd be more or less than what he signed with Mixer?
I'm curious.
Yeah, me too. I'm very curious.
Because I think that Google doesn't care at the end of the day. Like they have YouTube gaming just to exist as a competitor, but they don't really support it or care about it.
Yeah.
Twitch, they care about it, but badly.
The problem with Twitch is they've won.
Oh yeah,
Like
they won a long time ago.
they are it. Like
Because
Facebook
they were the
isn't-
only ones who were doing it.
Facebook
for
aren't
years.
going to compete, right?
No.
Nah, Facebook
Facebook is starting to compete a little bit.
Facebook's name is bad though. Like
The problem is there's a lot of people that will not touch Facebook because it's Facebook.
The
Yes,
biggest
including-
Hearthstone streamer in the world moved to Facebook, and he's found an audience there. So
well, I'm sure there are
It's-
people who go there, but like you ask like a 15-year-old
Sky's toast
whether
is
or
his
not
name.
you ask a 15-year-old whether or not they have a Facebook account, they're gonna be like, what the hell is Facebook?
Yeah.
It's not long for this world.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Enough about Shroud.
Hey, real quick, since we're at peak viewership, I have something to talk about real quick.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I've
Hello,
come to promote my wares.
you
I am.
are you a
Khajiit.
Khajiit?
I have wares.
Excellent.
So, I'm sure everybody in this chat knows this by now, but I'm going to say it anyway because we had some technical difficulties last week, so we're re-airing episode 0. David, push the button. Bring it on back. That's it. It was like 2 seconds long.
Excellent.
So I am working on a production for Mr. Paul the Astropub, Berserker 01, Batman Golden Shower, Shelley. And he has a show that he does on Saturday mornings called The Spice Must Roll. Initially, it was to play the Dune tabletop RPG, which makes this an absolutely wonderful naming convention. And basically, he runs seasons. Thank you, Bang. Very good. He runs seasons of the show that run approximately 10 to 12 weeks of tabletop RPGs, and they'll be from various universes. Every time there's a new season, it's a different game. So the first season was Dune with an N, like spice and that
Yeah.
Dune. he did Star Trek Adventures. He did I'm losing it. I'm a little tipsy also.
I can tell.
He did the Stars Without Number is what I was looking for. And now I am very pleased to announce for the 17th time that we are running Star Wars Edge of the Empire on that channel. However, Paul knows next to nothing about Star Wars other than surface level from seeing the movies, so he enlisted me because I have an encyclopedic knowledge about Star Wars. It is my flaw, my character flaw is that I know too much about Star Wars. It affects my daily life. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm running the Edge of the Empire campaign. Our campaign is called The Wretched Hive, and it is starring Paul as Garu Kor, the Force's what he thinks to be the Force's gift to women. It's my favorite description of a character in the world. Darginator, who is playing K1A4, former Imperial droid, similar to K2SO from Rogue One. Atomic Zero, who's playing a Togruta gunslinger by the name of Hotshot. And, of course, the honorary, or at least according to him, honorary relay member, Mr. Papa Dovak, who is playing a amnesiac Rhodian by the name of Clack Beatbox. And I am the game master. Our first episode was supposed to air last week. We had some technical difficulties there, so we are starting the new we're replaying that episode this weekend along with our first live episode, which is episode 1, going to jump right into the action. So please watch episode 0 if you want some background on the characters and the systems and all that. But we are starting bright and early on Saturday. Paul just sent me the times, which is 9:30 a.m. Central Time, so 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That is 7:30 a.m. Pacific. But we're gonna start by replaying episode 0, and then we're gonna go right into episode 1. So if you want to start with episode 1, we're going live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we'll probably run all the way up until the Relay Station broadcast, because we always do. So yeah, come watch. The first episode was absolutely hilarious and ridiculous, as you might imagine with that cast of people. There is no force powers. This is a story all about the underworld of Star Wars, the criminals, the scum, the smugglers, the scruffy-looking nerf herders, all of those. So please come watch. I'm having an absolute phenomenal time working on this thing. So yeah, twitch.tv/theastropub, noon Eastern, Saturday, August 15th.
I will take a quick second to also announce some stuff for Shiver, because he's here as Table of Horrors.
Hi, Table of Horrors.
Vampire the Masquerade this weekend, the 15th. Then next week, Vampire the Masquerade is on the 21st, and Star Trek Adventures is on the 22nd, all on Table of Horrors. 23:30 UTC, which is, I guess, 7:30 Eastern start. So yeah, go check that out as well.
We do this because Shiver won't promote his own stuff.
It's
so
true.
We force it on him.
Because it's good stuff. So go watch that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, Shiver, for the love of God, use the announcements channel on Relay to promote your channel when you go live. Please. Do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, of course you can do that.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
all right.
Okay, back to
You
the
have
news.
access to the channel. You can do it anytime you want.
No, don't say that.
I'm
You can't
constantly
do
harassing-
it anytime
I'm
you want.
constantly I'm constantly harassing people in space race, so you know.
Yeah.
Do it up. Let's get back to the news.
I
the
love that
show.
Jake wasn't like, "Nah, you're not harassing me."
That was
Yeah.
our ad break. If we
Yeah.
had sponsors, that's where they would go. But we don't, so I'm promoting my own stuff.
Jake, I'm putting you in charge of finding us some sponsors.
Do it.
We don't have an audience for sponsors.
All right. Halo has been delayed to 2021,
2021.
Yes. This
citing
was
COVID as the reason.
Yeah, this was obviously very not planned.
I think the backlash from the trailer kind of sealed the deal for them. I think they were hoping they could get it done, but especially after people commented about it, they decided to push it.
See, I don't know
However-
how can you fix what people were angry about though in like, a few months.
Honestly, it looks like it just needs better textures. The animations were good, the white boxes were good, everything else.
I
looked
know,
good.
but I'm suspecting they targeted the graphical level they did because they want to run it at 120 4K in multiplayer.
On the Xbox Series X is I don't know. Because
I think that's why it looks like
something
it does.
something to keep in mind as well. I don't think it was that necessarily. I think it was they're also releasing this on Xbox One.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's also a
More time
fair
is
enough.
never a bad thing. Video games
Nope,
take
I'm
time.
very happy about this.
Yep.
No, longer
especially-
is better.
Especially because Cyberpunk comes out in November, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
have time for anything else.
I'm not gonna be playing Halo.
I think a lot of things might also just be getting out of the November time frame of like let's launch early to mid 2021.
Let's get the hell
It's a
away from
launch title.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk is a launch title for the new consoles.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What a game to sell your new console on.
Yeah.
What-
No doubt.
just
There was
amazing.
there's already like a Cyberpunk version of the Xbox, is there not?
Yeah.
Thought there was.
There is.
Of the current Xbox, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Series X launches in November?
Yes, they narrowed the release window from holiday to November. They confirmed that.
I kind of always suspected it was a November launch.
It's always November. It's always
Yeah.
been November. It will always be November. But I think they just wanted to make sure that their suppliers would be able to handle it, and that's why they waited so long to announce it.
Yeah.
Which probably means if they have a close enough release date, they're probably going to announce the price pretty soon.
I'm guessing probably the next
Xbox
showcase.
Showcase, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Considering
Risk,
they didn't save that for the next showcase, that's probably going to be the announcement.
Risk of Rain is now out of beta. It is now a 1.0.
No early access. It is out. Play that game. It's cool. I don't like it because I don't like roguelikes.
I love it. I think it's actually one of my favorite games to just lose a couple hours to. I load into a match and then finish it and was like, that's sad. That was a satisfying 15 hours. Yep. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened to me a few times, and
Yeah.
Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Red Dead Online is having a time apparently.
Yeah, it's had a time since it launched. It goes in and out of being working. So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto was the same way, and it's one of those. It's one of those things. Rockstar knows how to make
A single player game.
sandboxes more than anything,
Yeah.
but they don't know how to make it multiplayer.
Yeah.
So
they shouldn't even bother, but they make a crap ton of money off of it, so whatever.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, though, too, is that the GTA role-playing scene is massive
Huge.
on Twitch, especially.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite clips from Twitch of all time are from GTA Online. So,
It's massive and it makes them a ton of money and they're not going to stop doing it. But I really hope that they
It's just
start
funny 'cause
doing
if
it
you-
better.
If you play Red Dead Redemption 2 and then you play Red Dead Online, you're like, well, this is just garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the problems that are happening right now
Wow.
are all NPCs in entire towns are disappearing.
Oh,
Some people's
Oh.
guns are not shooting. Like they
Oh,
can't shoot
boy.
any guns. And apparently
The server isn't recognizing player input is what's happening.
yeah, and but
boy.
apparently even better is some people are finding that anywhere that they go, they are trailed by a partially invisible bald man who just a bald NPC that's sometimes there, sometimes
get
not,
you, dude.
sometimes floating that just follows them.
He'll get you.
I need to share a story because that just reminded me. Very interesting things happen in Star Citizen when the servers are about to crash. And I woke up in the bed in New Babbage, and I woke up in bed and there was a rattling noise, and I'm looking around, and there was a man inside my wall, in my bedroom, and he was rattling in and out of the wall, and then I'm like, well, that's creepy. So I got up and I walked out of the room and I went over to the elevators, and I could hear someone running around, but they weren't there. And it was like, there's a ghost following me around. And then server crashed.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
So we got probably the biggest news of this episode right here.
we get
Just-
to listen to Jensen Wang talk for 3 hours about.
And I'm
about
going to
him
listen to
there.
every second.
Listen. All right. So the news is that NVIDIA has announced a live conference of some kind for September 1st. I am really enjoying the marketing for this a lot.
The like 1980.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Twitter account for GeForce is tweeting about like 1999 video games and hardware as if it's new, and it is fantastic.
I was
so, like-
reading that press release of theirs and just like
Yeah.
I played that. Oh, that was so just
It's good. It's,
oh, my heart.
I like it a lot.
My heart.
They're like, yo, let's talk about the new hotness, EverQuest.
Yeah. They were talking like Command and Conquer, friggin'
Yep.
Quake. Oh,
Yep.
I love it.
So, I got a question. Does anybody know what it's in reference to?
What?
I mean, I
Uh,
just don't know GeForce's history that well.
They,
No,
they
it's-
didn't
it's
really
the-
do a 20th anniversary of
It's
anything.
21 years.
So they've been around for 21 years. Is what
Oh,
it is.
okay, cool.
So
Since, like,
and they
were
started
making dedicated GPUs.
they started 21 days before the event, so they're having one every day. They're looking through 1 year up
Yeah,
until
so tomorrow is going to be 2000. Day after that, it's going to be 2001.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I
Space
think it's a
Odyssey.
really cool idea. Yes.
But I think even cooler is the idea of new cards.
Yes, give me new graphics card before Cyberpunk, please. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think- Can we? We're gonna do an informal poll here. Whatever the name is of the highest end video card that they announced on September 1st,
39.
but I think it's probably the 3090. What is its US launch price going to be?
$1,500.
17.
I'm gonna say they match the 2080 Ti.
I'm gonna say they go to 1700 USD.
They're saying 24 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
I'm going with $2,000. I'm going 1999. 1999, just like their current campaign.
Well, so there's a question actually.
Oh,
That's
that would
that's
be
good.
stupid.
That would be horrible. There is actually a question out there right now of is the 24 gig one a Titan, and the 20 gig is the 3090.
Yeah, that might be.
The Titan that's out right now is something like 20 gigs already.
Yeah, so the 24 gig one might be the Titan. Anyway, we're gonna find out September 1st, and I'm excited.
Here, hold on. Titan RTX.
As much as I actually watched the entire RTX conference from last time, but it
So
didn't need to be two and a half hours long, like it was.
The Titan RTX is $2,500.
Yep.
It has 24 gigs of GDDR6.
Would
Already.
they release a new baseline GPU that is better than the old or more than the old Titan?
They
for
did
less?
that the last 2 generations running.
Okay.
Because the Titan RTX is the stupid card that nobody needs, that is the half generation between the last one and the new one.
Okay, so the 24 gig is probably a 3090, and then the
Yep.
next Titan
Or-
is going to be
Yeah.
32 gigs.
50 gigs of VRAM.
Something stupid. Yeah.
Um,
The 2080
Does
Ti, I
anyone
think,
else-
is 13?
2080 Ti is
2080
11.
Ti?
11.
Is
It's
it
11. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
11.
Oh. I
Yeah.
have 11 in my 1080 Ti.
There you go. Yeah, it's 11 gigs in the 2080. So they're going from
Well done.
11 to 24.
Yeah. It's a big
I'm
jump.
hyped.
But this is
I'm
probably related to the fact that we've heard that they have dual processors on board these cards.
Yeah.
That so
Ray tracing.
one just handles ray tracing. So they're basically taking an entire load of VRAM and an entire CPU just to run ray tracing. I wouldn't be
Amazing.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a $3,000 card instead of a $1,500 card.
I don't think they can get away with a
Um,
$3,000.
They can get away with
No.
whatever they want.
I don't think they'll do it. I don't think.
But
they'll
no,
do it.
I don't think so. I think in 1999 is
I
possible
think-
though.
I think the next
Um,
Titan will be $3,000.
Oh god,
100%.
easily. So, anybody else think it's weird that Jensen Wang and Lisa Su are related?
Yes, it's weird. It's really weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like
It's
it.
the weirdest thing.
It skeeves me out. It's. I don't like it.
Anyway, so this is a very big. I mean, to be serious though, this is a very big departure for graphics cards.
Yeah, probably.
It is probably like from what we've heard in rumors. Obviously, we need the official announcement, but from what we believe, they have decoupled the ray tracing portion from the GPU, and it will exist as a separate processor, which also explains the enormous amount of VRAM.
Which is why. So remember the last time they did 90 cards? It was 2 GPUs.
Well, also, isn't that sort of what they did with PhysX at one point?
No.
Yes, they had an entirely separate card though, like an actual
Yeah.
PCI card. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be put into a different slot. It wasn't on the
Yeah,
same
I know, but
PCB.
it was like a completely separate PhysX processor, right?
But
Oh, AGIA put it out. NVIDIA did not put it out.
oh, that's interesting. But anyway, I'm very curious to see how they discuss that. I'm very curious to see what the actual performance of a card like that is, and whether it
So
helps,
here's a
or if
thought.
there are problems having 2 processors.
Here's a thought: is they didn't do a 20th anniversary last year, right?
Because it was too soon for them to release new cards.
Well, I know, but 21st anniversary, they are specifically calling back to 1999 and the first integrated GPU, which
That's some marketing hype if I ever saw it.
I'm wondering maybe this will change things too. We'll see. Anyway,
It is.
David,
It is
I want
certainly possible.
real quick. I'm going to interrupt our regularly scheduled broadcast here to say that Twitter just gave me a notification on my phone to look at your retweet.
yeah. I'm a fish, I'm a sturgeon, I'm a carp, I'm a turbot, I'm a salmon, I'm a hake. I live inside a lake.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it.
You love it
I
so
just
much.
want you to know
You
that
love it.
Twitter felt the need to deliver that to my eyeballs.
Boy, that's funny.
It's so good.
Oh.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's
New
move
graphics
on
cards,
to
thank God.
just quick additional note there. We are expecting those cards to be out in mid-September. There's probably going to be 3 that are actually out at that point, with more coming in the fall.
Third parties,
Um,
move your butts.
There's
Please.
the current rumor is that third parties are being prepped for it now and will launch either alongside or very shortly after Founders.
that is the rumor. Yep.
Yeah. Apparently,
Um,
multiple
EVGA.
AIBs have confirmed that they're already working on cards.
EVGA, bless me. Bless
And-
me with an FTW card out of the gate. Oh my God, I would cry. I would cry.
We don't want you to cry,
Beautiful
Jake.
tears. Oh, Shiver knows. Shiver knows what I'm talking about. The FTW, if they release an FTW3 card out the gate, we will die. We will instantly keel over and evaporate. Oh,
Will you
All right.
evaporate, Shiver? So the other note is that we are expecting and I'm totally viewing this as AMD waiting to see what they need to say when they launch the next Navi. So RDNA 2 will be announced shortly afterwards. We're not really sure, but it's almost guaranteed to be after, probably in September.
And then NVIDIA is
Yep.
going to launch their mid-tier cards when RDNA 2 launches because that's all they need
Yep.
to beat RDNA 2.
me and Shiver are big EVGA fanboys. Let me tell you what. They make good products, okay?
All right,
They
back to the
make
news.
Excellent GPUs.
Back to the news. So,
Speaking
Vampire
of
the
Shiver-
Masquerade. Unfortunately for Shiver,
Vampire-
Vampire the Masquerade has been pushed to 2021.
Yeah. It's fine. They didn't want to launch their RPG alongside Cyberpunk. I get it. I understand.
Everyone's
It's
running
fine.
away from Cyberpunk, and no one blames them.
It's fine. The previews that people played, people were just like turning inside out because of those previews. So, like, yeah.
I think it's a lot of
Yeah.
Cyberpunk has been delayed, so we've got to delay because we don't want to launch when one of the biggest games in who knows how long is launching. The other is, I mean, COVID is hitting a lot of developers.
Thank you, Fast Cart. for
Is
this
that
clip.
my song?
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm upset too, but honestly, I wouldn't listen. All right, I played a lot of Cyberpunk on. So, do you remember the age of forums where
Yep.
literally everything had a forum, and
Yep.
people made their own garbage tier forums? It was
Yep.
before social media was around. I played entire games of Cyberpunk 2020 on garbage forums, and it was one of the best times of my life when I was 11 years old. So,
That's
like,
awesome.
listen,
I remember doing that as
I
well.
am more excited by Cyberpunk than just about anything ever, and I can't wait. They're giving me Mantis Blades. They're giving me what's it called? Asmaka Corporation. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Oh, what the hell is
Who makes? They make the Mantis Blades. They should know this. Arasaka is the name.
Arasaka, that's what it was. I knew
Oh.
something like that. Arasaka. Yes,
These
the
are-
corporation you guys are going to be a part of when you start.
They know.
and then
They
you're
know
going
their
to
source material. Listen,
just
I'm
violate
very
them.
hyped. I'm very hyped
And this is why everything's being delayed because everyone is like,
because I'm hyped.
yeah,
Everyone's
everyone is,
running
though.
away from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they should.
So, I just wanted to mention something, and this is so. This, I mean, it's sort of been a gradual realization, but RDNA 2 is ray tracing, Ampere is ray tracing, Xbox One Series X is ray tracing, PS5 is ray tracing. We're entering the realm of ray tracing, folks. It's
Yep.
the
Yes.
next generation, whether we like it or not.
Well, and
This is why
finally, it's
everyone
not going to.
happy
buckle
about
up.
Well, it's going to be good because it's not going to be something that's not like because the mainline consoles also will have
Yeah.
it this generation. It's going to be a standard in everything.
Everybody's
good.
going to have it.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
Dick's actually crying now.
Persona
Oh. What
has
about it?
It has far exceeded the sales expectations, and it has convinced Sega that they are going to bring more classic games to the PC.
Listen. Sega might say this. Atlas, however, might not say this. Is the problem. Atlas has always been the problem. It's never been Sega. Sega owns Creative Assembly.
I know, but I think that I'd imagine that the numbers
Also-
probably stunned Atlas as well,
I play-
and
can I play-
they probably also like money.
Can I
Creative
play
Assembly-
Sonic Pinball on PC?
No. Well,
Okay,
yes, but
Sega?
not easily.
Sega, make it happen.
So my favorite thing in the world is because Sega owns Creative Assembly. Creative Assembly made Halo Wars 2, so the creators of Sonic the Hedgehog made a Halo video game, Master Chief. It just pleases me. I know it's not like 1-to-1 or anything, but it makes me happy. That's all. Yeah. Suicide Squad game.
With the weirdest announcement ever.
They just tweeted a picture.
Yeah,
They're like, hey, we're making a game.
So no, I understand why they tweeted a picture is because they're showing a teaser at the like DC online event and nobody cares. So they needed to be like, "Hey, we're announcing it over here. Just come watch, please." If you didn't know, it's being made by Rocksteady. This is their new game. The Batman peeps, the Arkham peeps, making a new video game, Suicide Squad video
Cool.
game. I'm excited. I like Rocksteady video games a lot.
they're good. I mean, yeah, they're good.
They made the they're one of the pioneers of the open world collectathon video games.
I mean, I
Ever since
think-
Arkham City came out. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think anything really did it before Assassin's Creed, but
What?
what did it before Assassin's Creed?
Batman. When did Batman come out?
No, Batman was well after Assassin's Creed.
Batman Arkham
Well after.
Asylum. 2009. Assassin's Creed 1 release.
2007.
Oh, fine.
Bam!
Fine.
Play Batman Arkham Asylum.
It's
The best one of the three.
I mean, I think Arkham Asylum was a better game than the first Assassin's Creed. So,
Yes. Far and away.
yeah.
Um,
What do we got next?
Alan Wake and Control. Listen, Control, Game of the Year 2019. I don't care what anybody says, Game of the Year. Control, amazing game.
I
Beautiful
need
game.
to play that game. That's
Go-
up my list.
Also,
Play-
Jake, I just realized something. I got a really big problem with something you said earlier this week in Discord.
What's that?
You were like Horizon Zero Dawn Game of the Year 2017, and
It was?
Breath of the Wild.
Nope.
Breath of the Wild.
Nope.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Game of the Year 2017.
Breath of the Wild.
Horizon Zero Dawn. If Breath of the Wild had real dungeons, it would have been Game of the Year for me. But it didn't.
I mean, it was the 2017 Game Awards Game of the Year.
Not to me, it wasn't.
But officially, according to the Game of the Year Awards,
According to Jeff Keighley,
Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
not
Your
me.
Lord and Savior, Jeff Keighley.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Game of the Year 2017. Listen, play Control. If you're aware of SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect, the series of short stories on the internet, Control is the closest thing to an SCP video game that isn't garbage. There's been some official SCP video games, they're bad. Control is the actual SCP video game. It is fantastic. It is unbelievable. Please go play that game. It is one of the best third-person action games there ever was. And the new expansion is coming out in like 2 weeks.
They have
I'm actually
confirmed.
waiting. I'm waiting to play it because I didn't buy the season pass on PS4, which is where I originally played Control. I bought the super pack on Epic when it was super cheap.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait until I have an RTX card because Control is the game that people point to and say, this is the ray tracing game. This is the one that is like, this is why you need ray tracing.
And
So,
DLSS.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yes. Also has that.
Yeah.
So,
And you need it.
Probably one of the most interesting things for me about the AMD conference will be what their response is to DLSS, because
Yeah.
they have to have one.
They have to,
For sure.
because it's everything. Key about
Please-
Control is they've
Please play Control.
Yeah, they've
please.
confirmed that it shares the same universe as Alan Wake, which
That
everyone
was
suspected.
confirmed in the game a year ago.
They confirmed it officially, and they are
How
in
did-
the works
how
on
is
a
it-
new game in that.
Why does Remedy have to say it when Alan Wake is mentioned by name
Because
in Control?
because it could be an Easter egg,
It's not.
and
Could
now
be another dude named Alan Wake.
You
never
now we
know.
know it's
play
not.
it.
I'm just saying, Jake. Now it's confirmed that it's not an Easter egg. It is genuinely a shared
It
universe.
was never an Easter egg.
Now we know that. We're good.
There's
um,
several. There's several
So,
items
what do-
in the game. They're like, yo, you remember Alan Wake?
so what do we know about this new game other than there is one?
Nothing.
Or is it just
Nothing.
Nothing.
there is a new game?
The actual promotion is of the new expansion, which is AWE, which is Altered World Event, is what it stands for. It's a thing. It's they called it AWE, and people made the joke that it also stands for Alan Wake expansion, which the Remedy developers like, yeah, it totally does. Because in the trailer they just show, here's high res Alan Wake. There he is. Here he is. There he is. He's in the game. Play Alan Wake on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass. Go play that game. It is great. It is a horror game, but it's not that scary. You kill
Promise?
things with a flashlight.
Oh my god, that's violent.
And the last of these news things, I think this is a.
So I added this in
is
there.
Eric.
I might as well chat about it. So, it was spotted on a PlayStation page that the PS5 DualSense controllers will have updatable software. This is something that is always, double-edged sword. I am excited about it because there's a lot of really cool features with the PS4 controllers. Using the speaker / touchpad on the controller, and I'm being able. Sony being able to actually update the software might give them some leeway to actually expand the capabilities over time. However, there is also that little possibility where they could accidentally brick everyone's controller. So don't do that, Sony. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The rumor part of this, that part's basically confirmed. The rumor part of this is that there's some rumors out there that the DualSense has about 3 to 4 hours additional battery life over the old PS4 controllers, which is pretty nice.
Please.
Yeah, I know. Their battery life is not spectacular.
Hey, can I just add to this? I got a bone to pick with Microsoft. Microsoft, why didn't you add the touchpad?
I think because they like their controller.
I don't think the
could've
touchpad is.
Play The Last of Us 2 and tell me that it's not.
No, I mean it adds a lot of possibilities. But there's a lot of people who really love Xbox controllers at this point. I don't think they wanted
Just
to mess
put
with
it
it.
in the middle.
But that's
Just
where the
put it in the
button
middle.
goes.
That's where their new share button went.
We are 100
PlayStation's
days.
got a share button too.
We're
I know,
100
it's up and
days
then
from
stop right.
Cyberpunk.
We're getting there. I just
100
hope they
days.
don't. I hope we don't
Listen.
get to like. I hope we don't get to like 40 days and they're like, yeah, it's 2021.
Here's the reason why I wanted them to make a touchpad so badly. PlayStation now only works with PlayStation controllers because of that.
Oh yeah.
Because they can't guarantee compatibility with their game. You can't. There's a key freaking moment of The Last of Us 2 that requires the touchpad.
Yeah.
In fact, it is my moment of all time. It is the greatest moment in video game history, in my opinion. So, it needs the touchpad. Xbox, you could have made your controllers universal and made it so that it worked with everything, and also made it so that things could be ported to all consoles. But no, you had to just
I mean,
not
Jake, Jake, I think
that.
you need to stop right now because the porting to all consoles is not a Microsoft thing. This is like Sony now
No.
have a history of
I'm
being
saying they could
bastards
give
and-
them. They could give them an additional reason to do it. Is what
But
I'm saying.
Sony's not going to do it anyway. Sony's Sony's thing is exclusives. It's all they care about.
They'll listen.
So-
if you get the right executives with the right, like, oh, there's money to be made, dollar signs in the eyeballs.
You'd think
They
that
would
that
do it.
exists already with PC,
They
but
do
no,
it.
no.
They just released Horizon Zero Dawn.
Anyway, this is an old argument.
Listen,
Get your free shit.
Microsoft, there's two things missing from your controller that I'm very upset about. The first is a touchpad.
Keyboard and
The
mouse.
Second, it already supports keyboard and mouse. The Xbox One today supports keyboard and mouse. In fact, they're adding keyboard and mouse support to the Master Chief Collection.
Jake, it was a joke.
It's bad joke. You're bad at telling jokes. Every time you say, "Oh, it was a joke," you don't say it like a joke. So therefore, you're bad at jokes. Every time.
All right, Jake.
The other feature that is missing is the gyroscope. Gyro aiming with a controller is fantastic and nearly as good as a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature. Get your free shit.
Yeah.
Our only accurately named segment, I believe.
No,
yeah.
there's the accurately named segment.
No, it's the fifth segment.
Yeah, the accurately named segment 3 is the only accurately named segment.
Yeah. Segment 4 is the fifth segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was a little off of that. Segment 4. Get your free shit. There is a game called 3 out of 10 on
I've heard this is really good. I haven't looked too much into
on
it.
Epic. And there's also a game called Wilmot's Warehouse on Epic.
Literally know nothing
I
about
don't know
them.
what that is.
But they're free.
So
If you have PlayStation Plus, Fall Guys is free.
I wanted to read this because I thought it was kind of funny. Oh, come on. Now Epic's doing its thing where it loads for an hour. Okay, there we go. So the description for 3 out of 10 is join the ongoing adventures of developers of the world's worst video game studio as they endure the antics both absurd and topical. This week, Midge joins Shovelworks Studios as a new animator, but not all is as it seems. Looks entertaining.
Cool.
There's apples and mushrooms and like the pin on Google Maps. It's purple instead of red.
Man.
There's sushi. There's a smiley face. There's a horseshoe.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jake.
It's the logo of the game.
Oh, okay.
There's There's apples and stuff. Look, he's so happy he's moving around. This game actually looks adorable.
It's time for our final segment.
Yes.
Section.
You... Wait, is it called, it's called Section 4? Oh.
Sorry, Jake. I'm sorry I'm so bad at jokes.
He couldn't
I
call
forget
it
about
segment
all of
4.
these every week. And I'm just like, oh my god, what is happening?
Oh, I love
No,
it.
all right, David,
It
I
makes me
take it
so
back.
happy.
You're not bad at jokes, you're bad at trolling.
Yes. Oh, is that Thursday that Total War Troy is on Epic?
Is that this Thursday?
I
thought it was
didn't
next
realize
week.
it was this soon.
Let me see. Total War Troy. August 13th, yeah.
Wow.
2 days from now.
So on the 13th, then, for 1 day and 1 day only, Total War Saga Troy is free on Epic.
Yep.
Hmm.
$3.
We expecting this to be? Is this a new release? It is a new
It's
release.
brand new. Brand
And
new,
we're
full
expecting
game
this to
free.
be a good game.
It's Total War. All Total War
I have-
games are...
I don't think I've ever played a Total War game.
What?
Oh, they're great, dude.
Oh my god. You need
Do you
to
like
play...
RTSs?
You need
Yes,
to
I do.
play...
Okay, so I'll get this game for free on Thursday, and then I'll play.
Good.
Yeah. I also recommend the badly named Total War Warhammer.
So good.
Specifically the second one, which is much better. It should just be called Total Warhammer. Why don't you just why?
I know.
Just
I know.
Yeah, right.
Smush them together.
Oh,
It's right there. It's
Total
so
War
easy.
Warhammer is one of the most fun times I've
It's
had
fun.
in video games, period. It's
It's
just
fun.
fun.
Yeah. If you just want a good time, you want to watch some Space Marines murder some stuff, then that
Not
that
Space
is the
Marines,
video
because
game.
that's 40k.
Oh, is it? Where? Oh, is regular Warhammer? What am I thinking of? That's 40.
Dawn of War.
40K?
Dawn of War Space Marines.
Yeah,
Also good,
Dawn of War.
but
Also
not as good as Total War Warhammer.
No.
Anyway, it's time for our final segment of the night.
David's
Section
new computer.
4. So, I want to yell about something because I'm really bloody excited. So, I ordered the last two parts
The
of my
Last of Us
PC.
2, yes.
No, I ordered the last two parts of my PC, save, of course, the graphics card. So those are coming this week. Power supply and a CPU cooler. And then I'm going to start mapping out how to build a stupid wall mount to put right here on my wall beside me. And
Point
I'm
the
going to
camera.
figure out how to build it. And I'm really there's something so lovely about putting together a new machine and
Oh, I
like
love it. It's murder while you're doing it, but it's wonderful.
it's such a stressful and yet also cathartic experience. And
it's that's the case with any DIY project, really. Is
the problem with computers is sometimes they don't work and you don't know why.
no, see, the problem with computers is I've done a lot of DIY projects. That right there behind me is a DIY project. It's a table that, when there's not a Lego set being built on it, folds up and down and folds out of the way flat, so the room can be used for VR. It's fantastic. I love DIY projects. I do probably way too many of them, to be honest.
you do.
But there's something
It started
different.
with those coasters. The coasters.
I haven't made coasters in a long time, actually.
I know.
I should again someday. Anyway,
No.
uh,
It takes you like months.
yes, it does. No, it's most DIY projects, at least for me, are like, okay, how can I do this that looks okay, but is also as cheap as possible? But that's not really something you do often with a PC. Like this is my once every 5 or 6 years, full refresh, full rebuild, new everything. And it's something that you get to do so infrequently that it's just I don't know. I'm looking at my parts over there and I'm like, how am I going to mount? I've got to get some plexiglass because I'm going to mount each of the parts on its own individual plexiglass sheet. And then under the plexiglass, there's going to be RGB lights. So the RGB lights are going to shine through the plexiglass to diffuse along the plexiglass to light the entire bottom of.
God.
Like, I'm so excited to build a new machine, and we decided that this segment was going to be like, let's yell about something, but in a good way. And I was like, this is.
I'm gonna be doing the same thing in the spring once all this new hardware shakes out. I'm getting a new graphics card now for this rig, but this one will be eventually going downstairs to be my dedicated VR setup.
Nice.
I then must build something new myself. And it's going to be scary and
I have a question for you, Jake.
Liquids in it. Yes.
Are you just gonna, with the new video cards, are you just aiming for the highest end thing you can find?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, David?
I'm hoping for AIB before Cyberpunk.
So I'm actually still thinking about this because I'm still running a 1070. It's started to show its age. Like, this is the last generation of games that it's going to run decently. It's starting to chug along.
You need to move on. Yeah.
I need to move on, but also the 1070 did me really well for a long time. Like, I bought the 1070 right when it launched. When was that?
Not recently.
The 1070 was, God, I don't even know how to find out when it was.
So
Release date GTX 1070 was June 2016.
So I've had this for 4 years.
Over 4 years.
Over 4 years. That's
an old GPU.
It's an old GPU, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it also did me really well, and I'm wondering if I should go. There's a part of me that wants to go all the way up, right? Top end. It's going to depend on price and the knowledge that a 1070 served me really well for a long time. And it's going to depend on a couple things: a house I'm trying to sell, and for finally, after years and years of pain and suffering, the government of Canada is supposed to give me $2,500 as compensation for the clusterfuck that was Phoenix.
Don't they owe you like 20 grand?
They owe me 20 grand on the side, but this is just $2,500 for enduring Phoenix.
Pain and suffering.
I still have to argue with them over the 20 grand. If I get the 2,500, which is just you're supposed to get it, they can't fight me on it. That's $2,500. That's a GPU.
That is a GPU. That right there is a 3090, folks.
I know. So, these are the things that I'm balancing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The
my
other
problem
thing
is-
actually I want to talk about really quickly, really sadly, is the reason I bought all my parts now. I was buying things when they were on sale because I got some stuff on decent sales. The RAM was cheap. But I picked up the PSU and the cooler now because it's almost back to school time. Which means my daughter needs to either, one, go back to school, which is unsafe, or two, I build her... I'm shifting my machine to Cass. I'm shifting her machine down. So I need a new machine because daughter needs a machine to be able to do schoolwork on because no going to school for her because the COVID. Try and stay safe, America, please. Yep, please.
Yeah.
Everyone,
my-
buckle up.
my problem with my upgrade and why I must go top of the line is because I am replacing this monitor with a 4K monitor when they release a 32-inch 4K monitor.
That is, I think you were looking for 120 hertz,
At least
144.
At least 120. I'm good with 120. Asus announced one at CES, so we'll
Yep.
see it someday.
They're saying, I just read, like, there's an article from, like, today, or no, for a few days ago on video cards. They said, they're saying holiday, there should be a 32-inch version of the Asus one.
Yeah, it's micro LED, so I'm interested to see how that shakes out, which will give it not OLED levels of blacks, but pretty close without smearing, which is the benefit of OLED and also the downside of a VA panel. So I'm hoping that it splits the difference between those two, so I can
That
get
would be lovely.
really good black levels without smearing, and also good response times, which things are promising on the micro LED front. But yeah, I want a 4K monitor. Actually, not necessarily for video games, but I'm kind of future proofing for video games a little bit. I want more screen real estate for music production, which 4K gives me. Yeah, that's my immediate need for 4K, not video games. I'll probably run 1440p on that 4K monitor for a long time.
Tell me how beautiful Star Citizen is in 4K.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm gonna run friggin' just Arena Commander private mode with nothing going on just to see it. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. But I probably won't get a new monitor until like mid to late next year. Just because one, Asus is the only game in town for the monitor that I want, and I'm hoping competition makes it
Price
better.
less crazy.
Yeah.
I sort of hate that I don't actually know what my monitor's model number or anything is. I think it's hidden around the back, and there's no way for me to get around back there without.
Do you have? Does it have an interface, like a GUI?
Probably,
Because
but I don't know what any of the buttons do.
My Asus monitor, all I have to do is click the little nubbin stick, and it shows me the model number.
I've got the nubbin stick. Ooh,
Yeah, click
maybe
it in.
information. Information. Model name. XL27307. Cool, that's helpful.
Actually, it is helpful. You can Google it.
XL27.
30Z. 30Z. Yeah.
That is a BenQ 27-inch 1440p monitor.
Sounds about right.
It is a
It's old now. I got
TN
it
panel?
used. I got
It
it
is a
used
TN panel.
from 6Fs.
Oh, nice.
It's a good monitor for a TN panel. I also have a TN panel. I don't like TN panels because everything looks washed out.
Yeah, I have,
It was
I have a
cheap.
TN as well. I got one of the early 1440p 144 hertz Acer monitors. It served me pretty well, but I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
Move on,
They're making
move
IPS
on.
fast enough now. So.
All right. Well,
I think that's our show, guys.
that is our show.
I always
Turns
have
out
such a
we
good.
didn't have a lot of news. We had a lot to talk about, though. Graphics cards will get us talking
Oh,
for
yeah.
a while.
God, yes.
every
Will
time.
they ever? The entire month of September. The entire month of September.
Get ready for us talking about graphics cards for 2 months.
Like-
that's
Get ready.
And of course, the like 47 memes that spawn out of a 3-hour Jensen Wang performance on stage.
Get ready for at some point me streaming me trying to build whatever monstrosity I'm gonna do.
Can't wait.
we will probably be covering that stream when it happens.
Oh, very likely.
Yep.
Very likely.
Okay.
What day is September 1st?
It's. Oh boy, that's a
It
good
is a
question.
Tuesday.
It is
Tuesday.
a Tuesday. It is a holiday, I think, in Canada. No, 31st is a holiday.
Labor Day is a holiday for us, but that's the following Monday.
Well, Tuesday apparently. Hopefully, it's like not in the morning, like
no.
every other thing has been.
Whatever. I'll book it off. All right, that's going to stop it for us. Go watch Jake's stuff on the Astro Pub.
Yeah.
Go watch
Saturday.
Sugar's stuff on Table of Horrors.
Friday.
And we'll see you guys Saturday for the relay station.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
4 o'clock.
Bye-bye.
It's 4 o'clock now, not 2:30. 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's
4
been
Eastern.
6 months, but people still think it's at 2:30 for some reason. 4 o'clock.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.